Hi there, everyone. This is Tyler, and I am here with a group from the Gauntlet, which, if you watch my stuff, I play with the Gauntlet a lot. They're the best group you will ever find if you like story gaming, indie gaming, OSR. It's a group that is supportive and generous and wonderful to play with. And if you're interested in that kind of game, you should find us. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. You can find us at gauntlet-rpg.com. You'll see our podcasts. You'll find out more about us. We're a wonderful group to come and game with, and I highly recommend, if you like gaming, that you give us a look. I also want to say this is the first game that I've run since we had a very sad loss. We had a dear friend of our community, Paul Edson, who passed away. He was a dear friend of mine, and I want to say we love you and we miss you, Paul. But we're going to be playing today Worldwide Wrestling by Nathan Paletta, which is one of my favorite games ever. And we're going to be adding to that The Road supplement, which is by Adam Ultraberg. Worldwide Wrestling is playing pro wrestlers. It's the drama and the grandeur and the somewhat seediness that is pro wrestling. And The Road is an expansion that kind of brings on the person behind the wrestler. It's the stuff that goes on traveling to events. It's dealing with your family. It's the politics that have to happen backstage. And it's also the friendships and the rivalries that happen between wrestlers in real life. I think it adds a huge dimension to the game, and I've been enjoying using it. Last time I did it as a main focus. This time we'll probably be dipping into it more than having it be our primary focus, but it still will be an element. This particular session, and our series, we get 5 sessions of, which is lovely. And we're going to be ramping up to the big Gauntlet League Wrestling pay-per-view. And Gauntlet League was created by Lowell Francis, a wonderful person and by far and away the master of running WWW. And he's very nicely allowed me to play an old Gauntlet League with my own stuff. And when I asked about putting the gold up, he was like, oh, yes, absolutely do that. So we will be going for championships as we go through here and seeing the jockeying that happens, trying to get that gold. And for those of you in the know, the gold doesn't mean as much as, say, winning a boxing belt. There's the fix that goes on in pro wrestling, but it does mean a huge amount to the money and the prestige and the reputation of a wrestler. It is a valuable commodity to nearly every wrestler. So people go out there and they really want to win it. And that often has to do with how you handle things before the match as much as how you're doing it in the ring, because the fix is on, as we all know, in pro wrestling. Now, I want to start with our safety tools, because wrestling does have a history of some problematic things. There's misogyny, there's homophobia, there have been elements of a lot of problematic things over the years. We have the Gauntlet Inclusivity Policy, which first off states we're here to take care of each other. We're here to have fun. We're here to support each other and be generous. We are friends playing together in all that means. Also says that if something is happening and you feel like you need to step away, that is perfectly fine. You could step away for a few moments, or you could step away, say, I think I need to just drop out of this. That is perfectly open. But along with that, we have the X card, which is a safety tool that I enjoy using. It's not perfect, but it is something that I enjoy using because it's there if something in the moment becomes problematic, if it gets personal, or it's destroying your fun, or it's just becoming a situation you would rather not have going on. Then you can do this. You can put an X into the chat, or you can say, hey, Tyler, I think I want to X that. I will say with the chat, I have a habit of watching my players. If you put something in the chat, I may not see it immediately. You might want to do something to direct me to it. Soon as that happens, though, I may ask for clarification, but we'll pull back and we'll reframe, or we'll get away from that and move forward. No questions are asked on why. That this is purely here so that we can have a comfortable and pleasant experience, and no one feels like, you know, they're being put into an unpleasant position. We also are going to do probably a little bit of writer's room in this, because I do want us to build up a real story arc on how the machinations of politicking your characters into good positions go. So I may have moments where we go, let's talk a sec about where we see these angles going. Would we like to see these two wrestlers in a feud? Do we think this feud maybe not paying off like we want? We're going to shift it. That's writer's room in a nutshell. So those will be on the table as things that we'll use as tools. Again, if at any point something is making you unhappy or making you feel uncomfortable, please feel free to use any of them. And between sessions, feel free to come to me with any questions or problems you might be having. All right. That said, we're going to get into the actual game, the fun of the day, which is Gauntlet League is a mid-tier promotion. Not WWE, but still not quite backyard wrestling either. Gauntlet League has a presence on TV. They are on cable television. Gauntlet League has a pretty vibrant social media presence due to Robbie Reyes, the webmaster for Gauntlet League Wrestling. And pardon me. Along with that, there are pretty good sized house shows. Gauntlet League itself is centered primarily in Gauntlet City, but it has road shows that go around, and occasionally even the main roster will visit other places. I think we're going to be taking place most of the time here in Gauntlet City, though. And like I say, we have the big pay-per-view Gauntlet Palooza coming up in 5 weeks. And this will be all about how we get to these big, huge matches. I have wonderful people playing, and we're going to let them introduce themselves and their characters. By a weird quirk, we're going to have people coming in and going out during the course of the 5 weeks. But these 4 folks are most likely still going to be the ones that are there 5 weeks from now. And so that's going to be a ton of fun. I'm going to start with you on my left, Gerwin, to introduce yourself first and tell us about your character.
Hello, I'm Gerwin. I've played quite a bit of Worldwide Wrestling. In fact, I ran one of the other promotions that's in the world of Gauntlet League Wrestling. It's a development promotion, Gage Valley Wrestling. And I'm actually bringing in a character from Gage Valley, one of the MPWs, who's taken a bit of time away from the wrestling scene and has now become a major a B-list star, at least, in terms of television, on the CW network with his own show, Professor Chaos and Heroes of the Future. Professor Chaos is a mad scientist, very much in an over-the-top Doc Brown meets Doctor Who manner. He can be good, he can be evil, depending on what he needs to do to correct the timeline. And I'm playing with the cultural champion playbook.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm a big fan of Professor Chaos. Leandro, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about your character?
Hi. Yeah, my name is Leandro. You see him pronouns. I've ran Worldwide Wrestling before, but I've never played it. So I'm excited to give it a shot. Also, shout outs to my local promotion, Over the Top Wrestling. You folks are the best. Hope you find a new venue soon. But for Gauntlet League Wrestling, I'm playing a character called Zoe Mueller, who is basically, her playbook is the Shoot Fighter. She's also known as the Crush Queen or the Queen of Smash. She is basically a very, like, if Professor Chaos is, ridiculous gimmick, Zoe Mueller kind of prides herself on being, like, pure. She is like a former, she is a shoot fighter in that she was like as is typical these days, a former MMA fighter who comes in with lots of, you know, legit credentials in hurting people. She's like very like intense, and she doesn't give much like in terms of likability, I guess. She's just kind of here to hurt people. Kind of like my idea for her is like there's an indie wrestler called Timothy Thatcher who does that kind of like shoot style, legit grappling, and also, you know, just plain doesn't really care for that sort of people. So that's her affect anyway. That's her character. Whether she's like that at all, well, let's see about that.
Excellent. Oh, I love it. Ryan, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about your character?
I'm Ryan, as you may have gathered from that intro. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing the Iconoclast, who will be the Reckoning Raphael Rousseau from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And basically, any wrestler who's ever said, I'm going to make a name for myself, I'm going to challenge The Undertaker at WrestleMania, that is me. Super hard.
Awesome.
I think that summarizes everything I've got here.
Oh, fantastic. And Zach, introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hello, I'm Zach. I use he, him pronouns. The wrestler I'd be playing for this game is Bloody Bob Cross, who was a wrestler I played in the previous game, and he's a hardcore wrestler, deathmatch wrestler. The thing with his character, he's gone through his first gimmick was he was like a really good technical wrestler with really bad character work, and then he had a change of he had a drastic gimmick change at the end of like the last episode of the last game I played, and he turned into this kind of like deathmatch wrestler slash I don't know, kind of like this like Norwegian death metal scene kind of like gimmick. And yeah, I think the inspiration I play with Bob Cross is that, I don't know, a lot of like wrestling from Japan, like the hardcore deathmatch wrestling from Japan, like all the light tube matches and like all the I don't know, just like really intense stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Another thing I want to like push down with him is I think he started off as this like really good technical wrestler, and then he his current gimmick he got really over, and so I think he still has that in him of like, you know, being a good technical wrestler, but he leans too much into his deathmatch gimmick, and so I think he misses that a little bit of being like a good technical wrestler, because being a deathmatch wrestler is not you don't really rely on a lot of technical ability. So yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's really neat. That's going to be really cool to explore. Wonderful. Thank you so much. As Ryan pointed out, I never quite know how to do that. Introduce yourself. I'm going to call you by name because I can't point at you and you see who you are. I
mock largely because I do the same thing.
I don't know how to fix that. One of these days, maybe I'll learn a clever trick. But thank you. I love these characters. I think this is going to be super, super cool. I want to start with we're going to set up our heat questions to get us going. I want to start, though, so we can kind of know a little bit about the characters by asking each of you a question, kind of a backgroundy question. So I'm going to start with you, Gerwin. Considering that you've gotten this, you know, kind of mainstream appeal, people know you from acting from a television show, you're kind of a star. What do you consider wrestling to be? Is it an adjunct to influence your being a personality? Or is it still like something that you love and it's still a main focus?
Well, Professor Chaos is has turned on the wrestling somewhat. He's been in the background for years and years and years and years, tried as much as he can to make it up to the main roster, pushed really hard and got nowhere. Now it's only because he's actually stepped outside and done something different that people are paying attention to him, and he really resents that, because, you know, he put in 12 years with this company, And now just because he's gone off and been successful elsewhere, yeah, that really does leave a bad taste in his mouth.
I like
To him, he's basically here. He's here to prove that he's just as good now as he's always been, and people should have been watching him the entire time. So yes, this is very much him proving that the wrestling is the main thing.
Excellent. Fantastic. Leandra, with and it'll take me a minute or two to get our names. Zoe. Crush Queen Zoe. Ooh, I like that. All right. With Zoe, and considering your background with, like, MMA, with real fighting, because if you listen to Jim Cornette, the Fix is on MMA as well. But in that sort of style, do you consider going to wrestling like a step up? Or do you kind of look at wrestling as sideshow antics? And along with that, how do you treat and feel like the other wrestlers are as talent? As, do you think of them as like jokes, or do you give respect to the profession?
I think partially why Zoe jumped ship to wrestling is because wrestling started to infect MMA. the sideshow stuff, the cutting promos, the ridiculous antics, and so she thought, you know what, if I'm gonna be part of a circus, I might as well go to a legit circus rather than one, trying to pass us as real. And so that's partially it. And the other part is that it was a challenge as well to do this sort of wrestling, because it's, with MMA, it is a legit sport, but here there's so much more. It says, as myself has always called it, very athletic acting. So it's like a new challenge for her. So she puts up this front, definitely, that she's this badass legit fighter who can probably take you down properly. But that is kind of partially a front. I think she's definitely someone who is observing everyone and kind of like, trying to learn as much, because I think she kind of knows that she kind of came in like, with not as much experience as maybe as everyone else, but it's a bit of fun. She's a bit of a tsundere, so to speak. She'll say she doesn't like you, but she's trying to learn as much off you to make herself better. It's all about making herself better.
So is there still kind of that little bit of a wall of hostility with the other wrestlers, or are you showing the respect?
I think there's a bit of a wall, but she's kind of hoping to bring down that wall by showing that she can do it, that she's well able to, like, do not just the athletics, but the performance and everything. Cool. She's got a place in this weird carnival world of wrestling.
Love it. All right, Ryan and Raphael Rousseau, The Reckoning. I like that. That's really cool. Want to know here, you're playing that iconoclast, which generally means there's something you're rebelling against. It could be a little bit like James Dean, what you got, but it also could be that you're seeing something in Gauntlet League that you say, this isn't what I think's right. So I'm interested to know, what are you looking at as the counter that you're putting yourself up against?
I mean, if Subpig still had the belt, it was going to be, this is all a fix. Subpig gets the belt. I'm going to take him down. But Kraken has it, and Kraken seems very sweet, and I don't want to fight him. Actually, I want to fight everyone all the time. I think a lot of it is just that the management clearly has their favorites, and they're not interested in people, clawing themselves up from the lower ranks. We can't make a real in. We're just kind of the lower tier. We can never make it to the top. And I am going to go straight for the top. I'm going to take the belt. I'm going to run this whole show, and I'm going to bring the rest of y'all with me, unless you're against me, in which case I will break you.
Okay, I like that. And we are playing with the classic Gauntlet League Wrestling management. We still have Bleakwood up there as head of creative. Wolf Backhouse has been reestablished as general manager. We still have that power structure. Anyone who knows Jeffrey Bleakwood knows for sure he plays favorites. That's been the classic Jeffrey Bleakwood style of creative. I think a little of the Vince Russo sort of style of creative there. But he plays favorites very much. So I like that as your counter you're going against. I think that could be a lot of fun. Can I ask then of you real quick, how do you present yourself to these other wrestlers? Are you going around rabble rousing, or is it more like you're trying to make friends and allies to kind of get your point across?
I mean, some of both. I'm trying to make friends and allies through my rabble rousing because, we could all be tough together. I'd take down the big names. I mean, I'm going to take down the big names, but you could too, sort of thing. But I'm not sure how well that comes across because you may or may not actually like the person who's going, let's break the management.
Cool. Excellent. All right, then. And Zach, which is Bloody Bob. Yes. Oh, yes. I know that character. All right. You've gone through some switches in your gimmick, and you're seeing success because we'll have that sort of idea that, there's been months to a year since you've made this switch over and people are buying into it. You've already brought up a beautiful conflict of that sort of idea of it's gotten really flash, but you still sort of regret losing a little of using the technical prowess. I'm curious, are you at a point where you feel like going away from the hardcore is going to be another thing that pushes you up? Or is it that you're trying to elevate that hardcore into where it's also the technical wrestling?
Well, that's a good question. I think what he's trying to do, definitely the hardcore aspect has been putting him over like nobody's business, but also I think that he still believes that with some sort of like working in the technical aspects of wrestling, I think he'd make the hardcore gimmick of his better. I think he believes, at least that's what he believes, is like infusing the technical aspect of wrestling into the hardcore gimmick is gonna make it's gonna make him look bigger. But I don't know if I think he's kind of like unsure. He's not very sure if he's able to like work that in, just because he's been really relying on the like less technical, more hardcore wrestling that he's been doing. So he's kind of unsure, but that's why we think it's gonna happen. So
and Gauntlet League has always had a strong hardcore presence, and some of its biggest stars are definitely hardcore. When you think of Sub Pig, a hardcore legend, so that you've seen hardcore get up there to the top. I want to ask, have you been given those shots yet at the big belts? Or has Bobby been having to wait? Have you been stuck waiting up till now?
I think he's been stuck waiting, just because. I think maybe the creative has kind of been putting him as like this kind of underdog, like new face of the hardcore scene. So I think he still has a lot to prove to the fans of what he's capable of. So
excellent. All right then. Well, let's go ahead and let's do some heat and get that set up. Let's start back over here with you, Garwin, if you don't mind. Why don't you run through your heat questions and we'll try and hit those fairly quick so we can get us going.
Okay. So my heat questions. Who wants me to retire? Who wants me to just retire already?
Opening that up to the table. Who feels like The old professor needs to keep his ass on CW. Nobody liking that?
If he retires, then I can't beat him, so what's the point?
Well, we could go with an MPW. I meant to, and I'll try and get this up by next time, put the Gauntlet League. Lowell has a great list of all the Gauntlet League wrestlers. I'll put that up, but we have pretty much that old roster if you've ever watched any of them or fought with folks. Gerwin, you could put somebody there, or we could, I could suggest someone.
I guess if you want, it could be me in the you had a CW show and you're returning, you're just more showiness, and we don't need that kind of nonsense here.
Exactly the sort of thing I was thinking as well. Yes.
Okay, well then let's do that. I always prefer a PC to an MPW there. Excellent.
Go back to CW, nerd.
Your second question, Gerwin.
Okay, my second question is, who is honored to be on? Sorry, who is honored to be on my team?
Ooh, that's a good one. Who likes to have that chance with Professor Chaos?
One of the things about Professor Chaos's shows, he basically has cameos of the heroes of the future, which are always Gauntlet League wrestlers in costume and masks, so they can't be recognized. One of my moves is I've gone for the luchador move that allows me to turn any match I'm in by spending 2 momentum into a tag team match and call upon someone I have heat with. And the way I do it is I've got a magical portal to the future, and I pull these characters through. So it's actually the person who plays that character on the show, but they're playing that character during that match.
Oh, that's cute. I like that. All right. So anybody want to, probably not you, Ryan, but someone else might want to have that opportunity with the professor? No? Once again, we may have to look to an MPW.
Okay.
What do you think?
In which case, then, I think I'm going to go for Terminatrix.
Oh, I love that. Excellent.
She's had an up and down so often, and actually just a chance to actually be up there and shining and in the big matches. And
excellent. I like that too. She is happy for the work. And your next question.
Okay. Who was instrumental in my early success?
Oh, no, that's a pretty cool one. Who wants to grab hold of that one? Come on now, y'all need this heat.
What do you mean by in early success? Is pre the TV show, or like when you just first came in?
I think in this case, I think someone convinced me to actually go and try something else. And so someone actually was the person that either through having a bad match with them or convinced me I was never going to get the spotlight, and actually gave me the push out the door to actually go and try TV rather than just try wrestling where I was getting nowhere at.
Ooh, yeah, I can see Zoe playing that role, being someone who's like, maybe we had a bad match because we didn't gel, maybe because you've got a much more showy style. I was like trying to like just kind of show off the wrestling, and I convinced you like,
oh yeah, and Professor Elemental, goodness, that's the wrong one. Professor Chaos is not a good wrestler. He is not a good wrestler. He cannot do all the technical moves. He's there purely for the pantomime of it all. So
excellent. Cool. All right then. So, and do you have another question, or was that yours?
Well, I get one for each of the other PCs.
Oh, okay. All righty.
So that's all 3 of them are.
Need to find one then for Bobby then. For each of the other wrestlers, but we had an MPW. So yeah, you're right. That's it. All right then. Leandro, let's go through yours.
Okay, so Who wants to? Okay, actually, maybe I'll save that for later. Who have I beat in a shoot fight?
That's interesting.
I think that was the actual match that encouraged me to leave.
Ooh, okay.
Professor Chaos is quite handy with his fists when it's actual fighting, but he was trying to do all the performance stuff, and you took full advantage of it.
So it got a little real in there when Professor was not expecting, and this led to this. Maybe this is bullshit, and I should try something different. Does that sound like what we got for a relationship going on?
Yeah, I definitely think so. A little bit of antagonism there.
I like that. All right, your next one.
Who will I never admit beat me?
Ooh. Who do we think there?
What about putting Bob Cross into that? What do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm picturing Bob Cross being this. I don't know. When you're a deathmatch wrestler, you just use a lot of like weird tricks and whatnots to compensate the technical wrestling skills. And so maybe he was like, I don't know, cheating, and he just like, I don't know, maybe I pulled like a kendo stick out of nowhere, and that was the last match. That was kind of like the thing before the pin, and you're just like, nah, that's not real. That's not how you fight.
Yeah, and it'd be even more insulting to me because I knew you have some technical chops, but here you are wasting your time with these gimmicks,
Right.
with these, with all these shortcuts, and you could do better now. So I'll never admit that you beat me because you're not going to admit to that.
I like that. That's excellent. All righty, and your next one.
Who has earned my respect with their fighting skills?
Oh, anybody want to pick up that? Ryan or other people can pick up a second one. Go ahead, Ryan.
I mean, I'd take it, but I don't want to tell you how you feel about me.
No, it's fine. That's how the question goes. Like, tell me what you're thinking, and we'll run with it.
I'm pretty tough, but I actually have some wrestling chops, unlike Chaos. So
yeah, there's someone here who, unlike Chaos, who doesn't have the chops, or Bob Cross, who do have the chops but prefers to, do his garbage wrestling. This reckoning here. She's got the skills.
And the question is, wants to show through the skills to impress you through use of their skills, right? Is that the question?
Yeah, who has earned my respect with their fighting skills?
Okay, I like that. And maybe Reckoning, do you think that this is also part of that garnering allies? Was you went out there and showed the shoot fighter that you know what you're doing. Maybe they should listen to you?
Yes, between the two of us, we could be an unstoppable block, taking down the powers that be.
I'll tell you, considering how Gauntlet League Wrestling usually has for actual technical wrestlers, you probably could. All right. Is that all your questions, Leandro? Excellent. All righty. Ryan the Reckoning. Go through your
I didn't realize that I loaded myself completely with R's, but yes, max alliteration. I get +1 look for all these alliteration. I'm also cheating. Who has the greatest potential to be on my hit list someday?
Ooh. What we think? Anyone? I could see the Professor. I honestly could see Bobby there, or we can go with NPW if anyone wants it.
I think I'm currently the big favorite, but that's mainly because of the merch that I shift. So yes, I think I'll take that.
You're making all this money and you're not even a real wrestler. You're just a CW star with a gimmick.
And how about a little, on this? Professor do you feel like maybe creative is, you've gotten back in and they're giving you these shots, but it's all, you believe there's the resentment of it's just because I went out and did something else. But do you feel like that maybe creative is giving you this big opportunity and that translates to kind of why Rousseau doesn't like you?
Oh,
Or might end up there?
Definitely. I'm very much of the opinion that people have looked at but Chaos in real life is, he thinks you resent him for his success, so much more than the actual. He doesn't see that. He doesn't see that he's doing anything wrong. This is how wrestling is. It's how it's always been. This is the business.
Cool. Excellent. All right, Rousseau. Next question.
Who thinks my lust for glory is bad for business?
Anybody want to take that?
Can I take that as well?
You certainly can.
Yes.
Because what's good for business is moving merch and actually bringing in the dollars. And if you can't cut it, if you can't do the mic work, if you can't actually be the full package, perhaps you better go down and spend some more time in developmental and then come back later.
In character, them's fighting words. Out of character, you're 100% right.
Excellent. And your last one.
Who do I secretly admire?
Who wants to take that one on?
Can I take that? What do you think, Ryan?
You definitely can take that.
What do you think is the most impressive thing about Bob Cross? I don't know. How would you? Is it my ability to take pain, or does that matter to you, or it's just like I just don't care about wrestling in general, or like I do care about wrestling, but I do it in such a different way that.
Yeah, I think it's a really different approach than what Professor Chaos does, and I mean, you're only flat on luck, but you're better than me, so you're clearly pulling off the entertainment side of it better, while still being really tough and dangerous and everything. And I feel like you're hitting that balancing act in a way that I would like to as well.
That's cool.
If that works for you, or if there's
I'm into that.
In.
I don't know. I think it's I think I'm into that. I think just because at least what I have right now, just like thinking of like just how different I wrestle than anyone else is like kind of like Bob Cross's like selling point. Just like
cool, excellent, good heat. Ryan, is that all of yours? Yes. All righty, Zach. Why don't we hear about Bob Cross? What's your heat questions?
All right. First one. Who can take everything I can dish out?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Who wants to take my crazy bumps with me? I guess that's it.
I think that should be one of the other two, definitely.
I could see that.
Yeah. I'm down to take that unless Crush Queen wants it, because that's a cool name.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like it's almost like an inverse of what I guess our relationship is. That like, yeah, no, I don't like that you can do the garbage stuff, but I think me being able to take all you can dish out means that I can go down to your level. I just don't want to admit it.
What do you think is the craziest bump that you've taken for me?
Oh, I think it's I don't know, a power driver through some tables.
Ooh.
I think let's not get too crazy so far. We're only in the first session. So.
All right. Oh, that's a cool one. Good heat. What's your second one there, Zach?
All right. Who beat me bloody most recently?
Ooh. Who do we think? Gonna take that reckoning, or
maybe me, because I know you're into that, and it makes us both look good.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm also picturing just like that's his thing. It's just he likes taking big bumps to aside from giving.
And you can actually take it, unlike
Right.
some people.
Yeah,
All
maybe.
right.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. Cool.
Nice. And your next one?
Let's see. Who's returned from an injury I gave them?
All right. Do we feel like anybody here took an
Well,
injury?
equally as other people can take the hits that that you can give out, someone here most definitely cannot. So yes, I think I actually had. I think I actually had to have time away from the show because of an injury you actually caused, and that threw all sorts of problems into the schedule. And ooh, yeah, that cost Gauntlet League money. Cost me money. I didn't get my appearance fees.
Ooh. I like that. And I have to think that there was some backstage politics that put Professor up against Bobby for that one. I mean, oh, that's just mean to put poor Professor into a hardcore match there. So
maybe it was even something that you've like never ever like even considered just taking a hardcore match with me. It's just like, yeah.
I think there's something cool.
I think someone presented me the contract for the match, and I thought someone was actually after my autograph, and I signed it without reading it.
Oh, I love it. All right, cool. And I think that's all of yours. Is that right, Zach?
Is
it one per wrestler?
Yep.
Excellent. I think that's all three then. All right. What we're going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of before event. Then I'm going to take our break and book our matches. And then we're going to get into our matches. I don't want to do a ton of off stage or off event stuff this time, because I know, Leandro, we're only going to have you for this one until towards the end. So I want to make sure you get a chance we get some wrestling in. But I think I want to see some actual interactions with people. So I'm going to do an around the table of setting up a scene, going through kind of the initial politics of what this push to the pay-per-view is going to be like. And I'm going to start. I'll give a bit of frame, then I'm going to open up to the person to do the rest of framing and set things up. So I want to start. I think I'm going to start with you, Ryan. You're aware that the promotion right now is loving cracking up on top. But rumors have started to circulate that before the pay-per-view, they're going to have him drop the belt. Because they want to have some angle for pushing the belt. You've heard that, but so far you've got no idea who's going to get the belt, who he's dropping to. Love for you to frame us up a scene where you're either setting yourself up to go and get this, or trying to figure out who it's going to be, or agitating against creative for whatever they may choose to do. That sort of thing. Pick whoever you want, be an MPW, be one of the management, or one of your fellow wrestlers. What would you like to see for your scene?
I mean, I'd love to talk to my fellow wrestlers, but I feel like I'd take it directly to management because...
Okay.
Because feelings.
All right, so you're going to go speak to Wolf.
Yeah.
All right, you arrived at the door and kind of nod. Yeah, come on in. Reckoning, good to see you.
Yeah, you too. What's it say here about Kraken dropping the belt before pay-per-view?
Rumors get around really quick, don't they? You're top tier talent. I'm not going to beat around the bush with you. We feel like it's best that the strap leave Kraken before the pay-per-view. I mean, Tony's a great guy. He loves that belt. I don't see him being willing to drop it at a pay-per-view. So we want to get a chance to move it off of him so we can set the pay-per-view up for a championship.
If you're giving it to.
Now, reckoning, that's in flux. Things are in flux. Things are here. Things are there. That's flux.
Flux, yeah. So, I mean, do you already have sub pigs ready, or?
Pig's not going to be taking it. It would be practically the same thing. And I mean, Pig's a wild card. We put him in a pay-per-view. Who knows what he's gonna do? We can't do that. Besides, we've got an angle for sub pig. Don't you worry. This hardcore thing, it's really heating up. It's gonna be big.
I mean, yeah, Kraken's nice guy, everything. But I mean, shouldn't one of us get a chance to, challenge for it on the pay-per-view?
Well, it's definitely going to be up on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but...
Are you suggesting that...
What's your angle here? I mean, who are you planning to give it to? I know you've got a plan. Don't try to fake it out that you don't already have someone picked.
Well, we haven't settled on anyone in particular. Reckoning, are you implying you should get it?
No, I need to be in the pay-per-view. I need to be challenging for it. That's what people want to see from me.
Oh, that's your thought, huh?
Yeah. And unless it's someone worth taking down, I mean, what's the point?
I'm going to have you go to a roll. Oh, let me set up a roll for your party real quick.
Oh, dear.
I should have had that ready before, and I didn't. I'm a bad GM. All right, here we go. Eminently liked Mastiff. Well, that's a nice one. I'll be putting that up in the chat for everyone. Oh, there we go. I think I'm going to give you an option here. You can roll with real, or you can roll with look. The idea, if you're rolling with real, you're trying to convey that, A, you're tough and able to do it, and B, probably a little bit of intimidation towards Wolf. Look is more like you're trying to be charismatic, charm a little bit here. What you think? And this is just going to be a straight, the generic, the road move, which I think is deal with it, is what it's called.
Yeah, I think it's real, because it's the attempt to not so much charm as but I'm, big and scary. I mean, I'm not big, but I'm a little scary. I mean, not that scary, but I can be tough.
You can be that. Alrighty, so give it a roll.
That is a 4.
Ooh.
Yay.
You do have your starting momentum, but I don't think that's going to help us at the moment.
I can make it a 5.
Let me be honest with you, Rec. Right now, we're thinking, well, we've got a TV star. Why in the world won't we leverage that? Besides, we want to have a big pay-per-view match with lots of bells and whistles. Nobody does bells and whistles like the good professor. Maybe you could challenge for that. Get your game up a little. Maybe we'll consider that. I've got an idea. Let's do you a match tonight that'll give you that chance to show you can get out there and do the performance, work the audience like the professor does. How about a little hardcore with old Bobby?
You can see her just looking more annoyed at the get you some stuff like the professor does, because I don't need the professor's gimmicks, but hardcore with Bobby, that's a gimmick I can get behind. So, yeah, sure, I'm in on that.
All right. Get out there, impress the people. Your name will go in the hat. All right, I think we'll end scene. And we'll slide over to you, Leandro. I'm going to frame up a scene here. I'd kind of be interested to see. Let me check over here just real quick. I think that you've had in your time here a few of these wrestlers who've kind of gotten a little worried about being in matches with you. In particular, I think that Johnny Blaze has wrestled with you and you worked him over. And the rep's gotten around that you're kind of rough, that you don't pull. I'd like for a scene set up here, and I'm opening up to you, of dealing with this reputation as it's getting around. People are actively starting to talk about avoiding matches with you, and that's bad deal in the back. Who would you like to talk to try and mitigate that or angle it?
I think I'll go straight for the source. Whoever's talking mess about me, I think I'm just gonna go straight to them. Who do you think it is?
Well, it could be Johnny or Stan the Percolator is kind of the backstage general. He's the one who keeps up with these sort of incidents. You could go speak with the Percolator.
Yeah, the Percolator sounds like a lovely chap.
Zach injured me recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it makes perfect sense for me to be the one that's actually saying he's not safe. And
well, let's see, that was Zach. So you're transferring that also over.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Well, I'm getting confused.
No. But that's you want to play also that, after all of these people getting, you got hurt by that person. You want to angle it to you're out there hurting people too.
Well, I did beat him in a shoot fight,
right?
Professor Chaos.
Yeah.
So he felt how rough I am.
Yes, I like that.
By all means. Sorry, I misread the wrestler at the top of the sheet.
Okay, but I like that. So Professor, you've probably been back there saying we should tone back some of these hard hits.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right.
It's not good for business.
Let's have that scene then.
So what's the? I was going to say, what's the framing on this?
Yeah, I'm letting Leandro go ahead and frame us up.
Okay, I think I've already mentioned it's Zoe confronting the source. So definitely, I think she's gonna come looking for you. Like, what are you kind of doing backstage?
Well, I think unlike all the other people backstage, I've actually got my own trailer. So everyone else has the changing room, the locker room, but we've got the film studios over in Gage Valley, and I've borrowed one of the trailers so I can have all the props I use at the show on hand.
Yeah, so I think it is just like me just knocking on your trailer,
and you open the door and you can see that there's me with a few young children, and I'm signing autographs. Oh yes, indeed, yes. Oh yes. Oh, you drew this of me. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, here, let me put my John Hancock on it.
This is about time, Professor.
Oh no. We're finishing here, aren't we, children? Oh, and be sure to record the show tomorrow. Something very big is going to happen. Oh, and you never know. I may mention you next week. Oh no! Oh yes, out you go, and literally you're standing in the doorway. So in order for these children to get out, you're gonna have to move.
I think it is a very awkward, like scooching to the side. I don't think she wants to get out of the way entirely of the door to the trailer, but it is kind of like the children have to be like, ooh, as they kind of squeeze past as And one that kind of left. I kind of sighed. It's like, grift never ends for you, right, Professor?
What do you... And he drops the accent. Well, this is a business. This is a business we're in. Come on, I don't wear a mask, but you know, kayfabe exists.
Doesn't it get tiring when you put up that sort of mask all the time?
Oh no, not at all. We've got to earn while we can. We're not going to be doing this forever. Well, especially with the number of injuries going around at the moment. And I give him a sidelong look. Give her a sidelong look.
I think I'm going to sit down without me asking if I could. I think kind of even where kind of the children are sitting, and I'm kind of like, you know, Professor,
Would you like a coffee?
Coffee would be swell.
And I go and get one of the novelty mugs, Professor Chaos and the Heroes of the Future mugs. And I pour coffee for her and me, and I put it down in front. There you go. So, how can I help?
Well, Professor, as much as we have to keep up pretenses, part of me just wants to like cut straight to the chase. You know, just be upfront with each other.
Well, cut away. It's something you're good at.
These reports of injuries of people being rough don't have to be coy about who's being rough and who's being roughed up.
What exactly are you saying?
I know last time we were in the ring got sloppy.
Would you like some sugar? And I pick up a bowl of sugar and take out the tongs with the sugar cubes. Or do
sugar.
You prefer it bitter? I understand.
I think I'm just gonna sip. Keeping my eyes on you.
Come on, you've come here to say something. Say it. Please don't put your feet up. It's very hard to get the stains out of the actual upholstery here.
Oh, I know. You work hard for all your amenities, Professor. It's very evident. What's your real name? Actually,
Harry.
out of character. Harry.
Harry Banson.
Harry, I know you work hard for what you do. It's all very evident here. But I'd like to think you can keep doing what you're doing without having to go around people's back and saying ideas to everyone else about people like me and what I can do.
Well, I intend to keep on doing what I'm doing. That's kind of the point. I want to keep on doing what I'm doing for many years to come. That's the point, isn't it?
And the point is that if I keep doing what I'm doing, you won't have as many years as you think you'd have.
Well, not just me, chap. I think if you carry on doing what you're doing, you're not just going to hurt me. You're going to hurt everyone around you. I'm lucky. I've got something to fall back on that doesn't require me to get in the ring. But a lot of these the younger talent we've got in here, this is all they've got. They've worked hard to get here. And I really don't want to see them lose that. We're a family, and family doesn't hurt family.
I'll take another sip. You know, Harry, I'm one of those young wrestlers as well. I want those years just as much as everyone. And to be honest, the transition has been weird. But that doesn't mean I'm not as dedicated to this as everyone else. I just want to prove that I can do it as well as you or anyone else in this company. people like Raphael or Candy Rocks or any one of those. I can be as good as them.
But being good means not hurting the people you're in the ring with. And as far as I can see, you're not that good. At least at that.
Well, then, why don't you show me then how to be good? We've never had that blow off since I sent you off to TV land, have we?
No, we haven't. Do you know how long I was in that cast? You know, my leg still aches after all this time when it gets cold. Thank God for heating in here. What is it you want? You said that you were going to cut to the chase. Cut to the chase.
I think here she kind of sips, but you can kind of see like she's a bit more nervous. I want a chance, Harry. I want a chance to prove that I should be here. And I think the best way to do that is with you.
You think I'm getting in the ring with you again? Do you know how much? Do you know how much insurance I have to pay, or the company has to pay? I get in the ring with you, my insurance rates go up again.
What would it take?
Ooh, that's nice.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You need to learn to hold back on what you do. You don't respect me, do you? You don't respect all this. And I point to the poster with the TV series on and the PR shots that hang on the actual trailer wall.
I'm not going to say that I'm completely in favor of it, but my eyes, what you do, well, it's no more different from where I came from, where people stab each other in the back to try and get on cereal boxes.
I'm less concerned about ending up on a cereal box than ending up on a milk carton.
It's been a while since you and I were in the ring, Harry.
Yes, and there's a reason for that.
That doesn't mean I've stood still since then. Just
you still hurt people.
You didn't answer my question, Harry. What would it take?
You want a chance? Far be it from me to deny that to someone. Goodness knows they've denied me enough times over the years. You can have a chance. But if you blow it, if I or anyone else in this match comes out with an injury, your name won't be worth mud around here.
Drain the novelty mug. It's like, I'll take that chance, Harry, Professor. Do you mind if I keep this? This is a very cute.
Oh, I've got about 50 of them.
Griff never ends.
Excellent. I like that scene. Cool. A lot of stuff built in there. That was very nice.
Would that class as traveling companions?
Yeah, I think that probably might. Let's I guess that's going to be that would be you, Leandro, rolling that. So that's in the car. When you chair ride with someone and open up to them, roll heat. Okay. So roll your heat. Oh, and that we're getting something. I was going to do it if we got to the end of this, but I think it's important to know now. Gerwin, face or heel?
Neither. I'm a technico.
Ah, excellent. So a Technico.
I counted the face.
Face.
Yeah.
Leandro, face or heel?
Ooh, I think definitely heel.
I like that too. Ryan, how about the reckoning?
I think for the moment, a face.
Excellent. And how's Bobby going these days? Face or heel?
I could go either way, but I was thinking of being a face. But does that work?
That works fine. Keep in mind,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to have people moving in and out all the time. So
Cool.
that's perfect. So keep in mind, go ahead and take your heat up. Sounds like if you're a face right now, the only person you're going up with is Leandro. Yes, I think that was who. So Crush Queen. And I think you get extra heat, Crush Queen, with everybody else.
Yep.
So you're rolling your heat with Professor.
That's a +2. So we have a lot of history, apparently. And that's a 9.
Excellent. Keep in mind you can use momentum. I'll tell you, with a 10, you get another heat as you're brainstorming ways to work together. 7 to 9, you get the above, so you're going to get that +1 heat, but you also have to pick one of. You open up too much, giving them juicy gossip, or you promise a favor, one that you're pretty sure is going to cause trouble, or they promise you that kind of favor.
Ooh. I think I'll keep my momentum for now and keep it at the 9. And I think definitely I think it is open. I think I promise a favor.
All
Definitely.
right. And Gerwin, so it comes to you. I'm going to ask you, what do you think that favor was? Is it the not hurting anyone for a while, or is there something else you would rather?
I think it's not hurting anyone. And if that doesn't go ahead, then yeah. The good professor is going to make sure that your name, he's going to be bad-mouthing you to everyone, including the management.
Excellent. And that'll be something I play on to cause some trouble with it. All right. So take that +1 heat. You're up to 3 now. That's pretty cool. I'm going to go over to you, Zach, for Bobby. I'm going to give you an option here. I think it might be interesting if you'd like to maybe see a little bit of Bobby's family life, if you'd like to explore that. Or have you try and do something, set up a scene where you're preparing yourself for going into this event and moving yourself up into the higher card, since you've kind of been stifled. Do either of those appeal to you, or do you have a different scene you'd like to do?
One of those things sounds, yeah, those two sound great. Let me see. I think it'd be cool to see Bobby and his like family life.
I think that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
All right then. Do you think that this is going to be at home, or do you think that this is on the phone?
I think this is gonna be at his house, or like at least what I'm picturing is he lives with his younger brother.
Okay.
And his younger brother has a whole family, and it's just kind of this like weird uncle that has this like a tiny room in the back of the house.
What's your brother think of you wrestling?
He never thinks highly of it. But you know, he started seeing him on TV, and so like, you know, like he never, especially with deathmatch wrestling, that's just like also another step below just like, you know, professional wrestling. And so, but I don't know, he thinks that I am happy and doing the best that I could, and so he can't really bother that. He could like egg me all he wants, but like, you know, at the end of the day, it's my life. So
okay.
And I'm like a pre-present uncle, so I can
Excellent. Okay, then if you don't mind, I'll sort of frame up this scene a little
go
bit
for
here.
it.
I'm going to say that this is, if you want to look on the road stuff, this is page 6,
Mhm.
Life and Family. I'm going to consider this moment we're having here kind of an unhappy situation. As he's going to come up and, let's see, let me check your, I guess, is Bobby's your real name, or is that just a wrestling persona name?
Let's call him Rob.
Rob. Knocks kind of on your door. Rob, have you got a second?
Sure, coming in just a second. And I've kind of just been like, I don't know. I'm just like looking in the mirror and just kind of like brushing my hair. And it's like, come on in. What's up?
I need to talk to you about something. You know the kids love you. I mean, they adore their Uncle Rob.
Yeah. Well, obviously, looks like they even like me more than they like their dad.
Well, dads don't get to put on fancy tights and go dance around on TV. Dads have to make rules. Dads have to take care of kids.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm here for, you know. You let me live here, and I get to be cool uncle, be more present.
Yeah. Well, little Robert was on the computer. He saw one of your matches. He was up all night last night crying because he was thinking Uncle Rob got his head busted open by a chair, was stabbed in the face with glass, and thrown on top of barbed wire.
Well, has it just not been apparent to you, or like what? How is that a new thing for him? Have you not told him?
We don't let him watch that. We don't let the kids watch their uncle get his ass beat.
Then it's not my problem. Then it's supposed to be your duty as a parent to, you know, control what your kid consumes.
Rob.
Like obviously you can see my scars on my body, and it shouldn't be why I'm surprised you haven't had that talk with your kids yet about what Uncle Rob does.
Rob, I want you to go and tell the kids it's make-believe. Tell them it's fake.
Are these scars fake? Or are these just weird prosthetics that people put on to make monster movies?
Rob, the kids are scared for you. They're children.
Well, or what? Or what? What? Why don't you just tell them yourself?
Because I think it would mean a little more from you. I told them when they were crying. They saw it. Maybe they heard from you.
Well, obviously, I don't want to give them all the words that I think you're right. I think it's important for me, but you know, it's not only my job to, you know, have them watch and consume whatever appropriates for them. So, you know, it's gonna be you and me. It's gonna be a team effort. You know, like I can't change who I am and what I do, but also you're their parent.
Well, Rob,
you gotta make it easier for me.
You're my brother. I love you. I'm happy you're here in this house. But if my kids are having nightmares, I've got to take care of my kids. Why don't you go speak to them? We'll work on this together. But Sarah is not going to let you be here if the kids are scared.
Also out of character, who do you think? What's my brother's name?
Let's go with Tony.
Tony. Okay. Tony. What am I supposed to do? Like find a place? I don't need to rent a place. Like I can't do that. Like I'm on the road all the time. This is, I'm
asking.
I'm here a few days out of the whole month. Like it's no big deal. I'm not in your face all the time. I come in, I take rest, I stay in my room, hang out with the kids once in a while, and then I'll be off on the road again.
Then make them feel better that their Uncle Rob isn't going to get killed in your make-believe fighting thing. Make Sarah happy. Fuck, I'm having to deal with this night after night. Can you not do that for me, Rob?
All right. I'm going to do this for you, but also for me too, because I honestly don't have any idea where I can find another place to live. So, yeah, let me do this thing. Give me a chance. See what I can do here. But also promise me that you're going to help me. And when you have my back, I always have your back. I will play with the kids when you're away at work all the time, Like, come on, this is like supposed to be a mutually benefit thing.
Okay, I'm going to have you roll here. You're rolling on, it's roll with power for the going home move with an unhappy situation.
Power is the...
Let's see, yours is -1.
All right. Oh, it's not like I'm gonna roll better. I rolled a 4, so that's 3.
All right. All right. If you botch on your next, let's see. If you botch on your next roll, something happens at home that is as sad as it is inevitable. So we're going to remember your next roll is going to have consequences back at home as well as in the ring. Which I think we can guess there's probably an injury going to be coming along with that next roll. As Tony comes up to you and hugs you, and I've always got your back, Rob. You're my brother.
Tony, yeah, I love you. Thanks for letting me say, I don't know. It's been hard for me because creative hasn't really given me any chance and to be up on top of the card, like I wish I could live on my own, but it's just like in reality, it's just not what I can do. So I really want to thank you for letting me stay here.
It's all right. And he kind of like puts his hand up the back of your hair and does what you've hated since you were a kid, like musses your hair.
Stop it.
And remember, as he's walking out the door, you can always come to work with me. I mean, we could use somebody in the mailroom. As he closes the door, we're going to cut scene there. Head over to you, Garwin. Let's get a scene out of you. Do you have a suggestion, or you want me to put one out?
I think I'm meeting with Robbie Rains and some of the creative team, and we're actually going through some of my latest merch and what's coming up. Excellent.
All righty. You're back there in the where they've got the control set up in the offices area. We got Robbie there. I think Bleakwood's at least dropped in a moment to Professor, glad you're back. Good to have you. Sort of glad hands you. But we've got the other writers, and we've got Wolf and Robbie there. And Robbie's going, I've got all of the footage set up. I think your promos are going to be dynamite. Anything you got suggestions on?
Oh, well, I brought some of the props from the show. So we don't have to worry about budgeting for that.
Wolf's like, oh, love that. Love that.
Do we have the winch working in above the ring?
Yes, it's, well, we had that little incident with Dingo, but it seems to all be working great now. He looks over at Robbie. Yeah, I've tested it out myself. It should be fine.
Excellent. I've got the flying saucer in the U-Haul out back. We can put it together and get it up there, and at some point we can have it come down. I've got a killer spot which we're going to do, but I wanted to have a word about some of my merch. He reaches into his bag and takes out an action figure, and he puts it down on the table. There's something not right about this.
Robbie looks at it. And, what's wrong, Prof?
It's the accessories that it comes with. It's missing a few.
Well, I mean, it was already the most expensive run we've done on any of the figures.
Oh, no, it's fine. We've got plenty of the accessory in storage, I assure you, but it's missing the championship belt.
And Robbie sort of laughs, and Wolf looks at you. Professor, well, you may have heard the rumor.
I have. That's why I asked Creative to sit in on this. We've got a big run coming into the show. We're going to be promoting Gauntlet Palooza coming up, and I just think it'd be so much better if I was going into that with the strap. We can cash in on all the free publicity, and I can even have the actual belt appear on the show.
Wolf looks over at Creative, and they kind of exchange some smiles. Prof, we actually we were going to be coming to you. We think maybe this strap would look good on you too, especially if you're thinking of taking it on the TV show. Now that's some nice publicity.
Oh, I've got a perfect place on set where I can hang it in the traveling time machine set that they've got for me.
We've talked to Tony, and he seems to be good with dropping the strap, especially heading into the pay-per-view. We're looking at working a feud that'll pull him away from the belt for a while. Thing is, stripping the Kraken of the belt, it's got to be a big moment.
Oh, I understand entirely. So what did you have in mind?
Well, and no offense to you, Professor, but having you straight up get the belt off Kraken, well, I mean, that might look a little, well, not so good. Not to say you're not considered a formidable wrestler, but let's be honest, there's a bit more to taking down the Kraken than that.
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, week after week after week, the public see me take down these huge monsters, defeat these natural disasters, go through and correct the timeline. I want to do a run-in on his match tonight.
Really? All right. Yes. I like that. What's your angle there?
Well, I've got to preserve the timeline. In fact, he reaches into his bag and pulls out the script for the next episode. In fact, I've asked them to make some changes to the script for next week. What's
it showing?
It basically shows that the Kraken is actually getting a guest cameo spot on the show itself. And, of course, the royalties and the appearance fees would go along with that as well. But if the Kraken carries that belt, oh, terrible things will happen. He is a walking natural disaster, after all. Disaster breeds disaster. He is a monster. He rises from the proverbial depths. I think this will do Tony some good. It will cheer him with a wider audience. He'll have so much heat coming back in after Gauntletpalooza. I think it's just good marketing to actually bring him into it like this.
I think that's not a bad idea. I'm sure Tony would. You know, Tony, he'd love to be on TV. We're planning an angle where he and Harbinger are going to be our big feud, going to pay-per-view out of them. Monster giant fight. Think it works well. We sort of intended he'd drop the belt in a fashion that lets you pick it up. Someone who'll, just handle the belt for a short bit.
Oh, I've got a brilliant idea. Let me fight Harbinger tonight for his place against Tony.
Really?
Well, Harbinger has a fight coming up. I need to introduce myself into that plot line somehow.
You have met Harbinger, right?
Yes, I have. And
I mean, he could go a little wild.
Yes, and I appreciate this, but I may be bringing along some friends to actually help keep him in line. Depending on how it goes tonight, there are certain people on here that can go just as hard as him.
Really? Like who?
Well, like that Zach person. I'm sorry, Zach. What's your character's name again? Yeah.
Bob. Sorry, we're confusing him. Yeah,
sorry. Like Bob. Bob. I'm sure you've seen the portal that we've been installing at ringside for the matches.
Mm-hmm.
I intend to call forth one of the bodyguards, one of the heroes of the future, and I want Bob Cross to actually play it.
Interesting. Yeah, we could probably actually let's have you roll here to see how this is gonna go. Why don't we have you roll with, I think this is look. You're trying to convince somebody here in our deal with it.
Okay, so I will just get my dice over here. And, okay, so that is a 9.
Ooh, alrighty. Unless you wish to push it up, it's going to have complication or a choice or a...
I'll spend a momentum to push it up by 1.
Okay. He says, yeah, I think that's not a bad idea at all. And, Lord knows Bobby could use the push. So we angle it. You're bringing, is this going to be a tag? Is that what you want?
Well, I do like tag team wrestling. So yes, I think we can actually put it as a. Yes, I think we'll do it as a tag team. So, who could Harbinger have to be on his side? Unless we want to make it a handicap.
Well, we know it's probably going to go into that hardcore range if Bobby's going to be there. Somebody like, well, I suppose we could have Zoe in there. Oh, y'all have a little bad blood, don't you?
Well, you remember what happened back in developmental.
I could have a word with her. And let's be honest, having someone in there that can actually handle if Harbinger goes off script might not be bad. If anybody could hook him up, it'd be Zoe.
Okay, on one condition. We've got a lot of top-rate talent here. This is going to be the main event, isn't it?
Oh, I would think so. Yeah.
Then done. I'll have a word with my people, and we'll get everything ready.
Excellent, Prof. And I think we're going to have a hell of a show tonight.
I think so as well. Do we have anyone from the insurance company around? I think it may be time to just check my premiums.
He'll pat you on the back, and I think that's C. All right. We're going to take a break. I'm going to book show. I believe that I had set up that we were going to have in there, we had said something about Reckoning and Bob as a match already, hadn't we? Wasn't that something early on we'd said? Now we've got Bobby in with this tag team as well.
Well, we've got Bobby in, but it's not Bobby.
True.
It is one of the heroes of the future. So whichever, come up, Bobby, come up with a pulp action hero style character, and please play it to the.
So yeah, so you'll get a chance to kind of gimmick out hero of the future if you want to do this match. Now, we're going to come out of this and we're going to have a chance for promo. You could get yourself out of this match if you wanted to. So don't feel pressured to have to do it. So I'm going to book matches. I think we've set up a lot of what we've got for matches tonight already, so we can have an idea of what's going on there. Want to make sure we'll have that. You, Ryan, you, Zach, we'll have that match for sure. We'll do that tag team. That'll give Ryan you a chance to be on announced for that tag team. And that's probably going to be our time for wrestling matches. We'll see how it goes. Sound good? All right. Let's take 6 minutes. Let's come back at 25 after, and we'll get into the event. Oh, all righty. Leandra, I think I'm gonna put you on table for the uh Bobby Cross and the Reckoning fight, if that sounds good for you. Give you a chance to do that, since I know we won't see you for a little bit. That'll give you a little more to do in this session. And you'll note, folks, you may have to refresh, but on the character keeper, I have put up a copy of Lowell's 3rd season of Gauntlet League Wrestling. It's the character keeper for it on the bottom, because he has a way cooler sheet than I do. You will see that there is something called the roster summary, and you can go on there and you can see all the many wrestlers that have made their way through. So if we need to pull up some names, and I'll be using that as well. So the event's happening. People are coming in. It's got a huge crowd. Folks are going wild. And first match up is let's see, gonna be El Toro versus Jack Ripper Jones. And it ends up being an exciting one, as they are Ripper is always known for that pugilistic style. Toro is known for kind of high-flying luchadors sort of things with a bit of power. Ends up being a good, solid match. Crowd goes wild. And I think we're going to head over to you, Reckoning, for a chance here. Would you like to do a little promo before your match, or work the audience or anything?
I think I'm doing a work the audience. Not necessarily before the match, but like as part of my entrance or something. I think it's one of those.
Then let me give that a second then and ask Zach what you think about Bobby there. Want to do a promo before we get to match or anything?
Sorry, is it the match with? Oh, it's Bobby's match with
the Reckoning.
Are you gonna do a promo, Ryan?
I was looking at my moves, but I don't think you've earned my ire, so I don't think there's.
Yeah, I think you're going to do a work the audience as a part of your intro.
I think I'm just going to do a work the audience, cement that I'm awesome, and you're probably also awesome. But if you want to cut a promo, do it. Maybe I'll respond.
I think. Sure, why not? Wait, let's give it a whirl.
Okay. You want to do it as some sort of visual piece on the Titantron? You want? I'm bringing in my interview person who I like, Sippy Cups. She will do interviews for you, and or you could have it just be you and the screen. What you think your promo looks like?
I really like an interview promo.
All right.
Bobby in the locker room. Perhaps he's taping his arms with white tape, and his fingers to cover his scars. Just getting ready, making sure the knee pads are positioned correctly. I don't think he needs knee pads, but he'd have them anyway.
All right. Sippy comes in, and she's, Bobby, you're known for your dangerous style. And there's no doubt the Reckoning is said to be, one of the most dangerous people in Gauntlet League Wrestling. How do you think this match is going to go?
It looks up to her and to the camera and back at her, and he says, first of all, it's Bob, not Bobby. Bobby's dead. Bob's here. And Bob Cross wants blood. Oh, that's what Bob Cross wants, blood. Wants blood all the time. And tonight, at Gauntlet League Wrestling, it don't matter if the blood comes from Bob or from the Reckoning. blood will be shed.
It sounds terrifying, Bob.
It is indeed. And tonight, the fans of Gauntlet League Wrestling will truly know who the king of hardcore wrestling is. And for tonight, I'll advise the Reckoning to tread with caution.
A warning from Bob Cross. Tonight will be bloody. Watch yourself, Reckoning. Roll that promo. You'll be rolling with... Move a sheet. Going to be rolling with your look.
Which is 0. Roll the 7.
Excellent. You get them to pay attention. You can pick one. Do you see your options?
Let's see here. Just a second. I think I want to gain heat with the Reckoning.
Excellent. Excellent choice. All right, Reckoning. Answering that call out or still not wanting to do a promo?
Ooh, I'm totally going to answer that call out.
All
I think they
right.
probably find her behind the stage. Go ahead. You've been called out. Oh my goodness. And she's in her, standard, like, leather jacket, her branded, the Reckoning, and like bright sparkly pink letters, tank top over her spandex short stuff, like she's ready to go out to the ring. And I know Bobby thinks he's big stuff since he went all hardcore recently, but I'm not scared of a little blood, and I'm prepared to face him in the ring, and it's going to be a reckoning. And probably her music kicks in a little bit in the background and everything, just staring down the camera. Yeah. Don't know why you're afraid to say it to my face, Bobby, but we're going to have this out in the squared circle.
Oh, nice. Roll that promo.
Unfortunately, I don't have look. So that's a 6.
Like, spend one on it?
Sure, I'll go into the ring with 0 momentum. That sounds like a
Oh,
good plan.
yeah. Well, you could get your momentum back if you wanted to. Or you could gain a heat. You could add a stipulation. Or you could have Creative book you in a match. If you do that, that probably would be for, like, next match. Or next session.
I'm going to gain a heat, and I'm going to say that since I'm playing this up as a feud or something, that I can use my in the crosshairs, where he's gained my ire, and I can roll plus heat to treat him like he's got an advanced roll that I got to take down.
Ooh, nice. And I know that that's a nasty bit when the Iconoclast goes up against an advanced roll.
That's a 10. Ha ha ha.
What's
so,
it? Yeah, for your roll for that.
On a 10 plus, I pick 1. Ooh, one of these means that they win the match. Oh my goodness. I think I'm just going to pick to each gain a heat with each other, because that seems super useful.
Nice. All right. So we're going into that match. Ryan, you still wanting to do your work the audience when you head in?
Definitely. I think the music kicks up, probably by, like bright, big, sparkly name displays and everything. And I come out, like, skipping and waving to the audience, working them up because I'm awesome and I'm going to beat this guy. Yeah, like, take a moment to kind of pause on the top rope and wave and everything before properly jumping into the ring.
Okay. Let's do work the audience then. Rolling with your audience.
I can't roll for beans tonight, so... Oh, wait, this morning? Oh my goodness, this does not bode well. That's a 6, and I'm at momentum.
They're not feeling it. So you're getting the kind of, yay, fine sort of thing. Means you won't be able to work the audience anymore this session. And I think as your... The problem with that, I think we're going to have Bob start in control of the match as the problem for that. Going over to you, Bloody Bob. What's your entrance look like?
The arena or stadium or whatever. Are we wrestling in a stadium? What kind of venue is it?
It is an arena.
Okay.
It's their home arena. It's good size, and there's a couple of thousand here. I mean, it's a good crowd.
Okay, so the whole arena gets dark, and then there's a spotlight, the top of the ramp, and then you just see Bob Cross, Bloody Bob Cross, just coming out, and everyone's chanting probably like BBK, BBK, and then you see him with this like white face paint, with accents of black here and there, probably like black tears coming out of his eyes, and then the music is just like this like droning, really humming low guitar. They just like would just hit one note for like I don't know, like every few seconds it would change, but it would just like kind of like slowly walking down with this a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, and you see Bob Cross. His outfit has like a wrestling singlet, a black wrestling singlet, and kind of like maybe a little bit greasy, wet, long hair, and he slowly walks down the ramp to the music.
Fantastic. And are you invoking this as a hardcore match?
Of course, yeah.
All right. Leandro, if you would like to sit up on the announce table, why don't you give an announcement here? Psych up the crowd for this match.
You had to ask someone who picked up a cough at a wrestling event very recently. Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is set for one fall, and it is no disqualification. Yeah, I think that's all I have. I'm sorry.
Excellent. All right. And so you're on the announce table. If you remember, you will have a chance to put over each wrestler once, which takes them up a category of success. Now, I think I established, due to a botch to work the audience, you're going to be starting in control of the match, Bloody Bob. And I think you're starting with kind of that advantage of, at the moment, you've still got the Reckoning kind of on the turnbuckle trying to get this crowd going. Probably got their back to you. How you started off?
All right. So also, one more thing, because it's a hardcore match, I start with an additional +2 momentum.
Yep.
All right. So the Reckoning is up a turnbuckle. I go from behind, just kind of push her to the center of the ring. And then I would like to have like some sort of like a stare down before we start a brawl. Just like kind of like circling each other. Okay. And then I make the move. We'll just do like a good old fashioned hardcore brawl, just like close fists, bam, 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 bam. And then it was like while we're punching each other, I speak to I talk to the Reckoning. I was like, okay, reverse my Irish whip. And so we did that. Try to give her an Irish whip to the ropes. Reverse. I fall off the ropes and back on the floor. And then we like brawl outside. Give it like, and I whip her onto the barricades, and then I go under the apron and pull out a piece of paper, a white paper.
Okay.
And this is my spot. I go up to her, kind of like have her face just like I don't know, like have a control of her face, opening her mouth, pulling out her tongue, and it's a paper cut. onto the tongue.
Oh my. Oh my. All right. That sounds like let's see. Is it are you invoking one of your moves?
I think that might just be
Just be a wrestling move, right?
yeah. What do you
Okay.
say? Is it like a real, or it's definitely not a work, right?
I
was
don't
gonna
think
say, is that hardcore violence?
it could be. It's certainly unpleasant. Or it could be, I think it could be a look wrestling move. If you want to
Sure. Yeah. Let's make it a look. Yeah.
okay. Let's
This is a
roll up
straight
that
roll
look.
for me. Yeah. It's a 5. I rolled a 5. I'm gonna spend 2 momentums and bring it up to 7.
Probably a good choice. Keep in mind if you rolled botch on your next move, so you have pulled it up, that means
Oh, yeah.
we did not have. I wasn't going to mention it before you chose to pull it up. So it did mean that we don't have the horrible thing happen back at home.
Oh yeah. I don't want to disappoint my nephew.
All right. So with a 7 to 9, you can retain control and transition to your next sequence, or you can gain a momentum and hand it over.
I'm gonna gain a momentum and hand it over to the Reckoning.
All right. The announcer beside you, Leandro, goes, "Oh my goodness, a paper cut is as painful as it gets."
I've had paper cuts on the tongue before, Bob. It's not great.
You have? As we switch back into, it is you in control, Reckoning.
Yeah, and against the barricade, relayed because a paper cut to the tongue. It's so painful, and I'm selling this as hard as I can, but and to kind of sneak away. And I also go for the apron, but I do not pull out a piece of paper. I pull out a chair, because if he wants hardcore violence he will have. And while he is busy going, "Oh, I'm so tough, I gave someone a paper cut on the tongue," I'm just gonna chair across the back, smack him as hard as I can, like trying to whack him into the barricade.
Okay, smacking as hard as you can, as in you're going for
as hard as I safely can, I guess. But
There
I'm
we
going for
go.
real, because you came for a fight, you're gonna get one.
Okay, are you
And
going
hardcore
for
violence?
hardcore violence? All right,
Ooh.
roll it up.
Let's hope that I can roll a positive number. Ha! That is an 11.
Woohoo! All right, the crowd goes nuts. I mean, it cracks. You selling it, Bob?
Yeah, selling it hard, arch my back, and it's like, just like froze a little bit, and then I'm just gonna fall into the barricade or like onto the ground or something like that.
Ooh,
So
that's +1 audience for you, Reckoning, and you get to pick one.
I'm gonna gain 2 momentum, because I think I'm gonna need it.
Always a good choice. All right, you still got control.
Yeah. So, kind of throw the chair aside and pull off that leather jacket and toss it aside too, because it is real now. And gonna pick up, or kind of like pull up Bob from where he's flomped, selling this super hard. And, oh my goodness, what's the move I'm thinking of? Taking my time, playing it up as how hardcore and violent this is. Oh no. I am going to just like power slam him back into the barricade and try to get the people behind it, going, "Oh no."
Ooh, that sounds good. Sound like you're doing power there, or is this more of a technical thing?
It's definitely power, because buff.
Roll her up, and definitely I see power.
That's an 8,
Ooh, very good.
which I think I'm content with.
All right, you hit it pretty well. You got to take another momentum, or you and hand over, or you got to maintain control.
I'm taking that momentum and handing it back to Bob.
All right, Bob, you've taken this good bump into the barricade. How do you get out of that and go into your sequence?
So barricade. Probably, I don't know if she kind of slammed Bob on like his back. So he's selling his back. This is kind of going to be his like story in the match. He's going to be selling his back a lot. On the barricade, I kind of just like go over onto the audience, and you kind of see all the audience just like starting to spreading out because he's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. And then while the reckoning is, I don't know, probably taunting or just kind of like showing her and everyone how strong she is, and but she has her back on Bob. Bob actually come back into the like over the barricade, take off the mat that covers the floor, and he gets up the barricade, just standing on the barricade. And while she's not on, and when she turns around and faces Bob, Bob jumps and gave her a DDT onto the exposed concrete.
Woo! Leandro, what does the announcer say to that?
God, I'm just gonna do JR impressions. Oh my good God! I'm sure the reckoning didn't reckon on that.
Ha! Fantastic. All right, Bob. That sounds. Is that hardcore violence? You think using the floor, or do you think this is more of a technical move, trying to get that thing off without actually splitting Reckoning's head open?
I think it could be either. I think it'll be interesting if it's. I think what's going through Bob's mind is just trying to show like some technical prowess, of just kind of like that. It's like a jumping off of the barricade, DDT onto.
Yeah, I mean, this is a high-flying technical move here.
And so I think he's taking a risk here. He's not very good at his work. It's,
all right, roll it up.
-1. So, ooh, it's a good 4. It's a 3. So
oh.
Can I put over that?
You sure can.
I think what the announcer says is that this just goes to prove that what he said backstage was true. Bobby, Bodacious Bobby, whatever you call him, is dead. This is Bloody Bob, and he'll do whatever it takes to win.
Nice. That's a good put over. That puts you up to 7-9, meaning you can take a momentum and hand over, or you can hold on. What you want to do?
I am going to gain a momentum and
all right,
back to the reckoning.
All right, so reckoning. You know this came real close to going very badly. The announce table put it over, and the crowd is going, holy shit, you know. But you selling, or did this end up being kind of a counter you did? What you think?
I think I'm selling and taking that moment of like, oh, I'm wiped out on the floor and everything, kind of regather and consider what I'm doing. But I'm gonna pick myself back up and just fling Bobby back into the ring, because there at least these moves won't be on concrete, so it'll be a little safer if things go a bit sideways. And
the ref's been up there ineffectually yelling for y'all to get in, so as you roll in, he kind of moves back.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna go for a straight up like side slam into the ring, because now we're back in here and dominance.
Fantastic. Sounds like either power or word.
Still, as I'm getting in and picking myself up, trying to sell it. I'm in so much pain. I'm gonna need ice bath after this.
Exactly. All right, what you think? Work or power?
Power, because I'm just going for raw, bowl people over.
Excellent.
And it's a good thing I have some momentum, because I'm gonna buy that up to a 7.
Woo!
Oh wait, no, it is a 7 because I have power. I'll just keep my momentum. Ha ha ha.
All right, so you taking more momentum, or are you gonna hang on to control?
I'll take another momentum and pass it over again.
All right, Bob, you've got it back. We've seen some pretty good stuff. I'm gonna let you get one more sequence off and then we're going to hear what the book is. What would you like?
All right. Bob Cross needs blood, and so that's what he's going for. So the Reckoning, you body slam Bob, right? And he's selling a slam, wriggling his back, arching his back, and kind of like while he's doing that, he started rolling onto the like one of the turnbuckles, and while she wasn't looking, he takes off the turnbuckle pads, just so they have that like exposed metal turnbuckle that hopefully she's gonna be able to use on and so the turnbuckle's exposed. I go back from behind her, and I like whisper to her ear again. It's like, reverse my whip again. And so position, I have my arms on her arm, trying to whip her to the exposed turnbuckle, and hopefully and then she kind of reverses it, right? Face first onto the turnbuckle, bam! And then...
Excellent. Do we think we're going hardcore on this one, or you think you're trying to... Hardcore? I see it too.
Okay.
All right, roll with real.
Seven.
See those options there. You gonna get injured? You gonna bloody up? Gain momentum or gain heat?
I'll just point out that you taking an injury as a hardcore is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
In a lot of cases, it actually gives you benefits.
Yeah. Let's see here. Do I have anything? When you demonstrate reckless experience, okay. Yeah, I think I am going to take up a heat with the Reckoning. Take it up a notch. Is that one of the options?
Yeah, you could take up the heat.
And also I'm gonna probably gonna like have blood coming out of my forehead, perhaps.
You gonna blade yourself?
Yeah, you see the referee just like checking if I'm okay, and then while he's doing that, slips a razor, and I was like kind of like on the turnbuckle. You start seeing blood.
All right, crimson mass going on as you pull back from the turnbuckle, and as that ref had come up to you and Reckoning, you'd also seen this. You're getting the wrap it up, and ref leans into you, Bob, and you hear what you probably feared you'd hear. Reckoning's booked.
Oh shit. Okay. He's not happy, but he's a professional, so he'll do what he needs to do.
All right, and Reckoning, you've got control. Definitely. Bloody Bob is living up to the name, reeling back from the gash and the smash into the turnbuckle. How you wrapping up this match?
Probably I make a show of bashing him back into the turnbuckle again, trying not to really hurt the guy, but yeah, I want to help him sell this injury super hard. And then I'm gonna go for my finisher, which I'm sure is super great with a name that exists and is real, but it's probably just like power slam into the mat.
I think you've already telegraphed a good one. The Reckoning, right?
Oh yeah, it is the Reckoning.
And so this big over-shoulder power slam, is that what we're getting?
Yeah, I think so. And just kind of flunk and making him land on that back that, oh no, is so terribly injured. This is so cruel.
Perfect. All right, roll your finisher. Rolling with nothing, but you got some momentum.
It's a good thing I have momentum because that's a 5. So
Ooh, how much you putting in?
I'll just put in 2 to make it a 7 because that leaves me with a bit left over.
All right. And anybody feel like pushing that? Gonna let that one slide announce table?
I thought. Oh yeah, you can use it to on more than one.
Each wrestler.
Yes. You know what? Sure, let's be nice.
All right. What you say?
I think it's just like, oh my God, Bloody Bob is losing blood by the quart, and the reckoning can smell it. They can taste victory in their grasp.
Excellent. What you get from a 10, Ryan?
Either I or my opponent gains +1 audience, and I'm gonna be mean and take it for myself. Apologies, Bob.
Don't blame you. All right. And 1, 2, 3. Reckoning, you have won this match. Crowd's going crazy. Kind of, it's getting that angry thing because, of course, the face lost. They're loving it. Did either of you finish with 4 heat?
I did.
Gain an audience. And so the match ends. There's blood left in the ring. People loved it. We have a couple of lower card matches. We see, let's see, we're probably going to see Dreamboat Alex take on the Gorgon. Ends up being kind of a brawl match. Then we're going to see Kraken going up against Dr. Explosiones. Garwin, I think you were wanting to do a run-in for this, right? Or have you decided against it now?
I've decided against it. I've switched to the match against Harbinger. Sorry,
Perfect.
Venomous.
Oh, and Venomous, eh?
Is that the gimmick he's still using, or?
Actually, they're trying to bring back Harbinger himself. They're pulling off that to get the Harbinger Kraken matchup.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah. So it's Harbinger at the moment. So we see Kraken going on against Dr. Explosiones, and where they're setting up for Kraken to be able to lose that strap, Dr. Explosiones does the fireball into Kraken's face. And we see Kraken for the first time exhibiting fear. Oh, the fire! And he cringes back and actually leaves the ring to a count out. Not losing the strap, but showing Kraken has a fear of the fire. Explosiones dancing around in the ring for the victory. Now we're heading to that tag team match. So we're going to have in this match, it's going to be Harbinger, which I'm not sure if you know who that is, Leandro, but Harbinger is an old Gauntlet League wrestler. He's a monster. Big guy, muscular, wears kind of antlers when he wrestles, has a habit of rolling around in the mud, and is known for going a bit hard and nasty in a match, and being a lot method as a wrestler. Has a habit of losing themselves in the Harbinger role. That's your tag partner. Also on the table is your favor to keep things from getting to where people get hurt. Going up against the Professor with Hero of the Future. Now, I'm going to open up, if Garrett, if it's okay with you, I'm going to open up to you, Zach, how you want to be this Hero of the Future. And the two of you can kind of, chat a little on this, but I want to hear from you. Are you envisioning this as maybe Bloody Bob in a different future persona? Or do you want it to be a completely masked wrestler, not Bob?
I think it's going to be completely masked wrestler, not Bob. And I think he's not gonna be happy that he's put in this match.
Real Bob isn't that happy.
Real Bob, Robert's not happy. Just because he had he just had a match and it's like his body just can't take it anymore. Like he can't do 2 matches in a row and like in a night. So he's not gonna be happy, and he's gonna express it to Professor.
Do you want to have a scene doing that before the match then?
I would love that if that would.
Let's do that. So where are you going to meet him up, Bob? Where do you find him?
I mean, maybe Australia again, right? I mean, yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that scene from not Universal Soldier, from The Running Man, when Jesse Ventura comes in covered in all that chrome armor and he's just complaining and moaning about?
I haven't seen that movie, but
okay.
But if you want to set it up, you can.
Yeah, in my trailer, however you want to come in.
Okay. There's a knock on the door, and it's like, "Hey, you got to talk here. The match is happening soon, but I didn't sign up for it. But we got to talk about this. What's your real name, Harry?
Yeah, Harry. Yes, come in.
And you see Bob Cross with a towel on his shoulder filled with like dried blood, and you see like a fresh cut on his forehead, and he says like, "Is this what you want? You're gonna expect me to look at me? I just got into like a really good match with the Reckoning, and you want me to be in another one?"
What do you mean? I want you to be in another one. This is your chance. This is main event.
But it's not Bob Cross is going to be in the main event. It's just weird gimmick.
No. You think those fans? You think the fans in the stadium aren't going to know who's under that mask? You think those people aren't going to be secretly shouting your name? Do you think the smart marks aren't going to be talking about this on all the YouTube channels, on all the web forums? This is a chance for you to shine.
It is a chance for me to shine, but I'm not, I'm tired. I'm gonna the only way I want to do this match is I come out as Bob Cross.
And why would I want you to do that?
I don't want to do it. This is, my hands are tied. Like you put me in this position where I have to perform, or else what? So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna use what I can get.
You see,
here.
This is your problem. This is the problem with all this deathmatch nonsense. We can't keep it up. It doesn't lead to a career. You can only do one spot a night, one match a night. When I was going through developmental, I would do dark matches. I would do run-ins and masks. This is bread and butter stuff. And you're telling me you can't hack this?
Harry, I do this for me. I do this because I feel good about doing this. I do this for my nephews at home.
And your nephews are so happy seeing you cut up each week, I assume.
Well, I wouldn't say they're happy right now, but when they see me on the big stage, no matter what stipulation, no matter what situation I get myself into, but if they see me in Gauntlet Palooza having that title match, that's what I want.
Oh, sorry. You think you're having that title match at Gauntlet Palooza? Here. Let me show you something. And he goes and gets out the merch that he had earlier. Have a look at this. Do you see the accessories that come with this? And he'll hand it over.
What is this? What is this crap?
Look at it. What do you notice about that? Look at the. Okay, read the accessories off the back, and I'll take it off him, and I'll read out the ray gun, all the other stuff, and then I will read, and then I get Gauntlet League Championship belt. Come on, they've already made up the decision about who's going to have that match. What I'm offering you is I'm offering you a chance to do something beyond this. Come on. You say you do this for your nephews. These are, how old are they?
They're 9 and 7.
Oh, so they're of the demographic that watch my show then. How proud do you think they're going to be when they see their uncle on TV? Not on wrestling, not on this fake sport, as some people call it, but no, prime time. Well, occasionally prime. Well, yes, well, you know what the scheduling is like.
I'm not here for the TV, Harry. I'm here for being real and being a wrestler.
I assumed you were here to make money.
Money's just another added bonus, but I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
that added bonus gets me this, and I point to the trailer. Sometimes you have to do favors. Sometimes you have to do things you don't like. For God's sake, I spent 3 years selling detergent as part of a gimmick. Gauntlet Lads detergent. That's just a joke. You want the truth? The truth, this is your opportunity to hit the big time. It comes in steps. Now, you want to be yourself tonight. Why would we be on screen together? Think, what's your motivation? Your
'Cause I'm
persona.
good.
No. Not that you're good. That's not a motivation. That's ego puffing. You are an actor. You are an actor. All wrestlers are actors. What are you going to do when creative comes to you and say, we've got this gimmick you'd like to do? Or what are you going to do when they ask you to do something you don't want to do? What happens when they go to you and go, there's this big match coming up. We want you to do the job.
But I'm gonna do the best as I can with that job. You know what? Whatever they put me to do, I'm gonna put myself over.
Then do the best that you can do tonight.
I'm still not happy with this, Harry.
You don't have to. Why are you not happy? I am giving you an opportunity. Now, we have to go and get ready. Wear whatever you want. I'll spin the story whatever way. But you wear that costume, and you know what you will get? And I'll hand him back the action figure.
He looks at it, snickers, and just push it back on his chest and say, "You can take that."
Excellent.
And
Okay.
as he goes out and the door closes, and that's what you get for wanting me out of the business, boyo.
I love we've got it's so different. You played a heel last time who was heart of gold off. Now we've got a face that's kind of a dick. Oh, all right. So a lot of options open to you here, Bob. You're going out there. Keep in mind, it's a tag match. There are plenty of opportunities to screw with your fellow tag team member. Now, we're running low on time, and I want us to get this match in here as a solid one. So let's keep her crisp. Ryan, you're going to be on table if you don't mind. Excellent. I want to see Harbinger and so sorry. I keep forgetting your name, and that is so rude of me. Crush Queen, that's it. Zoe, Crush Queen. I want to see y'all come in first, and I'd love to see a promo out of you beforehand or work the audience. What would you like to do before this match?
I get the feeling that because of in the fiction, the overall fiction, not the kayfabe fiction, that Zoe is basically just there to fill up some. So I don't think she gets a promo. So, but she's gonna do with what she can. So I think she's gonna do something in her entrance, and I think her and Harbinger will come out separately because this is very much a can they coexist sort of tag team. So Zoe's music comes out. It's a lot of stabbing guitars. I think I have the specific songs like Demons by Sleigh Bells. It's angry and just screaming. And Zoe comes out. She's got this sleeveless hoodie on, and she kind of stands at the top of the ramp. Kind of looks, just unconcerned, whatnot. And then she kind of raises something on her hand, and it's the mug that she got from a professor, and he just very nonchalantly just slams it down on the ground.
Oh, love it. I think that's still a good promo spot if you'd like, because you're calling somebody out. Sound good to you, or would you rather do it as a work the audience?
I think it's work the audience. I think.
All right,
go.
Let's do that. Work the audience. Rolling with audience.
Cool. Okay, that's a 9.
All right, you can gain a momentum, or you can start with control of the match.
I think I'll gain some momentum.
Oh boy,
we have 1. So.
Excellent. All righty. Harbinger comes out to kind of got a weird Led Zeppelin vibe to its song, but it's got like flutes and shit with it. Leaves come floating down from the roof or from the rafters for his kind of nature gimmick. He is a monster. He's a huge guy. And comes out, and I don't know if you've had much chance to talk to him, Crush. He's got a look in his eyes that's sort of wild and not real focused as he stomps to the ring. Now we're going to have, Professor, let's have your entry, unless you'd like to promo it up first.
I'll do a promo as part of my entry, if that's okay.
That's perfectly fine.
So the Titantron comes on, and it's actually the set of his time machine. So this is actually filmed. The actual filming here looks so much better than what we normally use, because this is proper done on site on the studio itself, on the proper set. And oh no, I've seen it, Igorovich. Oh no, we have to stop this. Harbinger. Oh, if Harbinger fights the Kraken, oh, that does not bode well for the future. Which of the heroes do we have at hand? Oh, yes, that one will do. Now, quick, to the scanners. Oh, what's this blip? Oh, I recognize that signature anyway. What is the Crush Queen doing there? Oh, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. She can't stop us. We will save tomorrow! And at that point, the Tron cuts, and the lights go out in the arena, and a spotlight appears in the center of the ring, and the lights above, there's a circular flashing lights, and a flying saucer descends. And at the bottom of the saucer, a platform drops down, and the professor's on it. Oh, yes. Yes, I can see them. Quick, to battle! And his theme music starts playing, and it's a recut version of the Briscoe County Junior theme. So he pulls down a cable, he clips it onto his belt, and he jumps off, and he free falls part of the way, and then just lands at the bottom and unclips. And by the power of my time gauntlet, he taps it, and it's got flashing lights. Open the portal! And it's like a great Stargater. Lights go on, there's the swirling lights, and out comes...
Yeah. Well, hang on. Let me have you roll your promo roll there, Garwin. And then we'll come to Zach so you can think a second what it looks like for you coming out.
Okay, I get an 8.
Alrighty. So you're gonna get your choice there.
Okay, so
Momentum, heat. Were you calling out Crush Queen or were you calling out Harbinger?
I was calling out Crush Queen at that point.
Excellent.
So I'm going to gain +1 heat with Crush Queen.
Excellent choice. All right. Stargate there behind the curtain. Wolf taps you on the back, Bob, and says, "All right, I know it's big show, but go out there and make us proud, kid." What does it look like when you come out?
Bob Cross came out to the same music. So everyone was like, oh, just like, oh, this is weird. And I was like, oh, and then, but you see Bob Cross coming out to this a wolf mask, a furry wolf mask, and he is Brutus, the space wolf from hell. And it's just like this werewolf guy, just like you see, like that's kind of like his thing. It's just like tights and a werewolf mask, and he just comes down to the ring.
I love it. We probably get a howl across the loudspeaker. Love it. Oh man, down at the table, announcer, what do you say to this?
Well, I don't think any of us knew who he was going to summon, but we certainly didn't expect Brutus, the space wolf from hell. Oh my god, people.
All right, you head down to the ring. Harbinger is looking over there, seeing this wolf creature, and he lifts his head back and lets out a howl as well. Y'all sort of face off from across the way, and as they're facing off, it's going to leave you, Crush Queen, to walk into the ring first as first wrestler, and with everybody sort of focused on the crazy that's just happened here, I'm giving you control of the match.
All right. So I think the starting person on the opposing team is that decided by you, or can I decide that?
Yes. Well, I'm going to ask. You're already in the ring, Professor. Are you starting out the match, or do you do a back out as the wolf comes in?
Oh no! I am the hero. Oh, it wouldn't be seen for me to let someone else fight for me.
Excellent.
Oh no! To save the future.
All right, then. You're mixing it up with the Professor there. Let's see it, Crush Queen.
I think I kind of walk towards the Professor. I give him this look as if like, oh, didn't I send you away already? And then I kind of pat him in the cheek and I point at the space wolf.
Oh.
I'm telling the Professor to tag out. I'd rather deal with someone who's new and cool. Well, I'm just
trying to egg on the playing up the heelish quality to this, or
it's like oh yeah, Professor the hero, but I already sent you away. Come on,
oh,
new guy.
All right, so you think?
I was about to ask, is that the heel move? Are you using the heel move to gain heat with me?
Well, I mean, you have to turn heel.
I am heel, but I'm not doing anything underhanded at the moment. I don't think.
Okay.
I'm just being a prick.
All right. So, do you think this is a kind of a look thing that you're doing?
I think it's the look. I'm playing up my character, definitely. Oh dear, that's not my best stat. Yeah. Oh, that bombed really well. That's a 2.
Ooh. All right. As you're doing this, the crowd is and they start ridiculing. Crush Queen sucks. Crush Queen sucks is around there. Prof, you're getting control, but you're also seeing the audience is. I mean, they kind of started degrading Crush Queen there in this instance. You see, you're kind of losing the audience on this.
Oh, you want them? You want them? You want the wolf? Oh, you don't want the wolf, do you? What do you think? Should I give him the wolf? Should I? And I'm working the audience.
Excellent. Roll work the audience.
And that's an 11.
Oh, fantastic. They start, are you trying to provoke a, yeah, they want the wolf, or no, get him, Professor, get her, Professor?
I'm trying to go, no, they want me to actually...
Yeah, there we go. No, take her out, Prof. Take her out, Prof. You gained 2 momentum.
And I turn around to her, and now she's got control because I just work the audience.
The crowd is definitely giving, you're scared. You're scared, Queen. Scared.
Yeah, I think I hear that, and I kind of give like a eye roll. Fine, and I think it is just gonna be it is gonna be a straight up like brawl at the start. Like I think I've let the audience get to me, so it is just a lot of like just forearms to the face, and it's a back and forth. The professor rallies, and just gets back, and I think we just get in this brawl at the start, and then I think what happens is there's going to be an Irish whip, and then I'm going to kind of like I'm the one being kind of like being thrown. I'm gonna duck his moves and whatnot, and I'm gonna do what Zoe usually does is start going for the legs. So I'm just gonna go for like a chop block straight at the back of the professor's legs, and it is gonna be like that one of those. Yeah, that's my spot anyway to start.
Okay.
And
sounds technical to me, so I think that's a work.
Cool. The dice are nice. The dice are not nice tonight. They're really not.
They have been real bad tonight. How'd you do?
That's a. Hold on. Should I even bother adding? I probably should. No, that's a 3.
So that's going poorly. The table gonna say anything, or let that one go? Could be interesting to let it go. Could be fun to put it over.
I think I'm going to let it go and save my putting over.
All right. So I'm going to make a very difficult choice here for you. As you go in for that chop block, you see Professor has actually kind of turned a little. So you've got an option here. You can blow the way this looks and lose an audience. Or you can hurt the professor catching that knee on the side.
Oh, that's rough. But given that,
Give
we
in
need
to your
a.
hate. Give in to your hate.
Dude, that's the thing. Either would be a good reason for me to not be here next week. Oh, no, I think when I make my vision Zoe, I think she legit wants to do this. So I think now she's going to lose that audience. It's going to look poor.
You got to stand up and do the right
She's
thing.
trying her
All right.
best.
Excellent. So this move does not go off well. That chop block, you could see as Crush Queen balks because you're not in right position to take it, Professor. And it is clear to everyone that there wasn't even connection. But you also know what happened. You're fully aware that she had to make that choice. And you've got control.
Hey,
Meanwhile, the announce table's trying to play this off like it's all intentional. Like, oh, that's rough. But
she hits me, and I will go down, and I will start screaming. I will start screaming that, oh, my leg! Oh, she's hurt me! Oh, she's hurt me! And I'm gonna break kayfabe because I'm actually claiming to be injured.
So you're trying to, even though you know no one believes it, you're breaking kayfabe to give it off and make fun of the miss?
No, I'm trying to actually get her in trouble with management.
Oh, I love it. Roll break kayfabe. That's with real.
That'll be a 10.
You gain an audience as they go nuts. They know what they've seen, but I think they probably are imagining maybe that she rolled up on you, missed that chop block, but did a roll up on your ankle or something. And, some in the back couldn't really see. And they are screaming. And backstage, Wolf, you could see him stick his head around the curtain like, what did I just see? There was no way. Oh, shit. Done hurt the professor. And you can see he's pissed. You got control.
I will stagger to my feet. And I'll drop down to one knee. I'll try to get up again and drop to one knee, and I'll try to crawl to the corner.
To make the tag?
I will try and make the tag.
All right. Bob, you've seen this. You know damn well what just happened. Are you taking the tag?
I think I'm gonna.
Because you got a chance here of a tag turn if you wanted.
Ray, I think I'm gonna put myself in, but I'm gonna tag. I'm gonna tag, but I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of like maybe turning on the professor. I think that might be interesting because Bob is like shoot mad at the match still.
Okay, so you're wanting to take the tag, come in, and then like put the boots to the professor instead?
Right. Yeah.
That's definitely a tag turn, I think.
That's a tag turn, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So you're rolling with heat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll get your options, because that's how this will play out, is the options here on this tag turn. It works perfect for this.
For sure. Roll with heat, and I have +1 with Professor Chaos. Oh, wait. Oh, 11.
Oh, my. All right. Here's kind of, as the rule says it, you remain outside the ring, but we could have you do that step in and or turn around or the punch or the kick or whatever. You leave your partner to get pinned by the opponent. It's legal wrestler, overriding creative's booking, which, by the way, you would be. And you gain +1 heat with the professor. How does it look then? Describe what it looks like as you turn on your tag team partner there.
Okay. So he tagged me in. I'm in the ring. I walk towards the center and stop and turn around and walk back to the corner where Professor is still getting outside of the ring onto the apron. And I rip my face mask off. Bam. And then you see Bob Cross with his face paint inside. And so I'm also kind of probably breaking kayfabe too.
And maybe making a heel turn.
Yeah. And a sleeper, like a chokehold from the back. And throws Professor in the center of the ring.
I like it, because there's some neat things with maybe the time machine has been manipulated to have this horrible effect. We've had a heel turn. I think this sounds like a heel turn. Do you agree, Zach?
I would say so too. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to go with the break kayfabe. Unless Gerwin, I'm going to put that in your court. Do you want to play it off as something has gone wrong with your gimmick stuff when we get into how the kayfabe is, or do you think this is a real break of kayfabe?
I think this is a real break of kayfabe.
All right, so you're looking at it that way. I think it's break kayfabe then. Roll break kayfabe, please. Roll with real.
I have to say, it's almost as if I put you in the match so I could put you in a position where you'd have to break kayfabe.
I think
A lot of
so.
stuff in this match.
I rolled a 10.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
plus my real is +1, so 11.
All right.
Okay.
This works. We'll come next time because we're reaching the end here. We'll come to next time because you'll both be here, how the fallout of this goes. We'll decide if maybe the audience is turning a little on the big look concept of wrestling and wanting more of the hardcore and kayfabe breaking stuff, or if this is just hitting because they're wanting to see kind of the nasty side of Bob. We'll see. We'll play with that next time. But for this, the audience buys it. They are into it. They are booing. They have started throwing cups because here's Bloody Bob turning into the bad guy. They are furious. You gain an audience, number one. And it goes to you then, Crush Queen. You get to put your finisher on a surprised and somewhat, set up for you, Professor.
Oh, it's so tempting, but just work stiff here. But no, I think Zoe just kind of looks at Professor, and she's giving off that character Zoe just sort of look. She's trying to keep it professional. So she is just going to her finisher is a knee bar, basically, the leg cracker. And she's just going to stomp on your leg and just twist it. But, she's not working stiff. We'll see if the dice are with me this time, though. Okay, that's a 7.
Table?
Oh, and that's vicious. Working his injured leg. I'm surprised Professor Chaos isn't screaming at this.
You're given the bush. That'll take you up to a 10.
Okay, so yeah, hit your finisher clean. I gain +1 audience.
Excellent. I'm curious, Professor, are you selling? Because the ref is in that position, probably just gonna screw job ring, saying you've.
Oh, I'm selling.
You're selling.
I've put the whole thing forward that she's hurt me. I am screaming bloody murder. In fact, I'm dropping character for a moment to actually scream bloody murder about how much this is hurting.
Excellent. And the ref is looking really concerned because he's caught in the middle of that. Was he really hurt? So call it. Ding, 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 ding. It pulls you off. Crush Queen and Harbinger over there in the corner is kind of going nuts, not knowing what the hell's happened. And just because Harbinger's Harbinger and can't take it, rushes the ring, grabs the ref, and power bombs the ref right there beside the Professor as he's crawling there, and gives that howl, looking around like, I want to hurt somebody sort of thing. The crowd is going crazy nuts. And I think that's how we're going to end the first session. Holy crud. Wasn't that something?
So I wanted to try something a bit different this time. I always play the nice guy.
I love where the Professor's going. Zach, I thought that was a very interesting choice. I think that was super cool. Leandro, I loved what you did in there to avoid and still get the screw job on you. That was fun. Did anybody have 4 heat at the end of this match with someone in it? No? If not, all right, no audience gain there.
Leandro, did you drop to 0 audience at one point during that match?
Yes, and then I use my advance I got to bump it up back to a 1.
I have 4 heat with Reckoning.
Oh, it's a different match.
Oh, shit, right.
Yeah, you already got the audience.
Yeah. Wow. So you took your heat or your audience up, and now you're up to 2, right? Okay. Excellent. I think we're gonna, like I say, we're gonna leave that there. We're at past time anyway. We'll deal with the fallout of all of this when we start next time. I know we don't have Crush Queen, so we may be seeing where there was a suspension put on you. For no good reason, as it turns out. So that'll be something for you to play with when you make your way back. Unless you decide to change wrestlers. But I'd like to see what happens when you come back. I think that could be a lot of fun. We're at past time. I wouldn't mind if folks have a second or two to just do a quick Wishes and Stars. If you need to leave, that is perfectly fine. If you're here for a second or two, we'll try and keep it. Let's keep them pithy. Wishes for me at this stage is more what I'd like to see coming up rather than, complaints or things like that. We'll do a Roses and Thorns somewhere in the middle here. But Wishes and Stars, wishes are what I'd like to see coming up. We'll do a round of those, and then we'll do some stars for folks. Garwin, let's start with you. Wishes.
Well, I think this is down to the other players, but I'm looking forward to see what the fallout of that match was. Oh boy, aren't I? I'd actually like to have a scene next time where I invite Bobby's nephews to the set for a visit.
Oh,
and
I
have something in mind there.
That's cool. We'll see about playing with that. That sounds very neat. I'll come to my stars here in a minute when we get to that, because those nephews make me happy. Leandro, wishes. I know you're not here for the next 2, but certainly you could throw out some wishes for forward or things you'd like to see.
I mean, in the short term, I want someone to put the boots. Professor Chaos, he's a prick. That would be nice. Outside of kayfabe, just saying. But yeah, in terms of wishes, I'm not sure. I kind of want. I mean, I'm not sure. We'll see when Zoe gets back from her suspension. Definitely gonna keep on that. I don't know why. I just want when Zoe comes back for things to be so different, to just be like, wow, the landscape is like, what happened?
That's cool. And I think with 2 sessions, there'll be a chance for that move over. But boy, this was a hell of a first one to see stuff happen. Ryan, wishes.
I know it's going to be delayed some, but I kind of want to see Zoe get a chance to actually put the hurt to Professor Chaos, because if he's going to fake it, why not actually take it, sort of thing. I'm also super excited to see where this bloody Bob Cross, Bodacious Bobby is dead for sure. Bob Cross is now a heel and awful, and I want to see him just really live that up. It's awesome.
I agree. Thank you. Zach, any wishes going forward?
Not much, but I'm just really excited where this is all going. Yeah, the fall is going to be super interesting. And yes, I wish that something's going to happen to to Professor. I think that's all we want to see, right? I feel like that's just kind of the consensus of if he's going to pay for being a prick or not. So I wish to see that.
I love it. For my wishes, I played in the past one of those faces who's kind of a nasty bastard backstage. I think seeing where that flow of story is going to be neat from you, Garwin. I think that's going to be very interesting, because there's completely practical reasons that you're doing what you're doing that, any normal person would go, hell yeah, this makes sense. He should be doing that. This is people getting hurt. at the same time, in the wrestling world, they're like, oh, that jerk. I can't believe he's screwing these people over. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. So I wish is to see that development. I want to really feel it. I have a wish going for the Reckoning. I want us to get a chance to really let it shine where you're crossing against, say, creative. I want to give you that opportunity. That's probably my primary wish, is to give you that thing you can hook. Fight the power, baby. So that's my big wish. Now we're going to go to stars. I'm going to start at the other end and come back. Zach, stars you might have. And that's pretty much just saying something players did, something I did, something about the system that you really thought perked it up.
I really like a couple scenes, especially whatever someone's doing a scene in the Professor's trailer. I think it's always a fun. I just like that world, that like it's completely different face of the hairy side of the Professor. I think it's just like a lot of just like really nasty conniving in there. And I want to give a star to Tyler for playing Tony, the brother. I think there's a lot to see what's going to happen in Bobby's home life. So
awesome. Thank you. I like that too. Ryan, stars.
So I just played with Gerwin where he was a heel who was just the sweetest guy out of the thing. And here he's a technico, but he is a full-bore heel in real life. And I love it because I hate him so much already. I want people to kick him in the face. And with your last heel, I was like, I love this heel. I want to watch him. But I also want to give him a hug in therapy. And it's really wonderful to have that exact opposite. Not just be here, but also you're really sticking it. It doesn't feel like it's just a reversal. It feels like a completely different character. But it's also the opposite. I love it. Also, star to anyone involved with the nephews, because I love how this is played out, and oh my goodness, it's vicious. And stars for everybody. It was a lot of fun. I liked it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Leandro, stars.
Yeah, I have a galaxy of stars to give out. I love all the choices you made, Zach, especially especially that last turn there. Like, I just love that dynamic. I always love seeing like this, that sort of like wrestler who's just in it for, for the passion of it, for that proper Mick Foley style. I'm gonna take all the hits because it's gonna look good to everyone, and this is what I like. I love that. Actually, I have a belated wish. I want to see the Reckoning face up with the Professor. I like that first scene of like backstage politicking that Raphael did, and I think no, they need to be in a scene together. I don't care whatever wrestlers Paul or Sabine brings over next week. We need Ryan and Gerwin together because I want to see the sparks fly there, because I think definitely I want to see more of like this whole pissed off legend killer iconoclast side just bring out. And I don't know if only because I haven't played with much with Gerwin, but like going against type, I've never met a nice Gerwin character. I would love to meet one, because all I've met are assholes, and they're supreme assholes. They're amazing assholes.
Oh, come on. Space Worm was the heart of civility. He did everything he could to help you. How can you say that he wasn't
You
nice?
shot my aunt in front of me. That did happen.
Wonderful. That did happen.
Yeah, so like, okay, all right. Another month of being under Gerwin's thumb. This is gonna be amazing. There's gonna be a lot of. I really love that scene at the trailer. It's just like lays it out so much. Oh, it's fantastic. And again, I've said it before. I'll say it again, Tyler. You bring everyone together so beautifully. Like just like all the other NPWs or NPCs you bring in, just like making sure everyone's doing stuff. It's always fantastic. I already can tell. Even though I won't be here for the next 2 sessions, it's gonna be a fun month.
Thank you very much, and we're gonna miss you. I appreciate it. Gerwin, stars.
Stars pretty much to everyone, but specifically, Zach, thank you for letting me put you in that position. Like, thank you for going along with that and actually coming along and playing along with the whole thing there. because, yep, that's pretty much what I was planning from the start. And I think it just builds into the story so well, and it gives us a good foundation to go forward. And the way you played it was pitch perfect. Leandro, same to you. That whole thing of putting you in a position where you have to promise not to actually hurt anyone, or I would make your name mud. Yeah, that was coming a mile off, and thank you for actually rolling with that and being such a generous role player with it. And yeah, I've loved everything tonight, and I'm so excited to see where this goes forward.
Cool. Thank you. My stars, I want to echo Zach. I think you did a hell of a job rolling with the punches and making really neat decisions. I loved the things. I like bringing in the family. I think I'm going to try and do things like that. That's some of my favorite thing with the road. I loved seeing your family life. I think that makes a character so much deeper. And then seeing what you do in the ring, there's so much heart to this character, and I think that's super cool, and you're doing a great job with that. So primo stars there. Ryan, The Reckoning, I am so excited about. I like the character. I like the potential for what we've got going on. I think it's going to be there's going to be a lot of neat stuff we see out of this character. I think that's fun. You built a beautiful setup for this. So excellent stars. Leandro, really, really glad that we got you here in the first one, knowing you're going to be back, because we've set a stage that I think is going to be very dramatic, and I think that's going to be fun. And you played it wonderfully, both in the ring and out of the ring. It was primo, big stars. And Gerwin, another lovely, wonderful character that is coming out here and kind of building drama. I like the professor as an in-ring persona. I always like an over-the-top character. I just think they're fun. And to see the machinations in the back, a veteran in there trying to do some nasty stuff is always first rate. You embody those roles so well. You always do such a great job at that. So huge stars for what you're doing. I want to say stars again, Nathan and Adam. I think WW is a really good game. I think it does a lot. And I think the road stuff adds so much more to it. So big old stars to the creators of what we're playing. So with that, we're going to end first session. We went long. I'm sorry. I tend to always go long when we get to these wishes and stars and stuff. But next time I will try and do better. With that said, folks, if you've enjoyed this, come back, watch more.